size doesn't matter.
Size matters not, it does.
Size matters not, Sam Humphrey.
He just topped me.
I didn't top nothing, dude. You got it, bro.
I tried to do it in Yoda's voice, and then he just topped me with his own quirky voice.
That wasn't Yoda.
Well, I can't even say it was Yoda, because that was a terrible...
Yeah, please don't say that was Yoda. That was an insult to Frank Oz.
Yeah, it was. I'm sorry, Frank Oz. Please forgive me.
It's the Parlor with Harris and Myles.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, do I have a treat for you? It's a treat for both of us, actually. I am very happy and proud to announce my guest on this week's podcast. If any of you have seen the movie The Greatest Showman, you will find this individual familiar. This actor is multi-talented. Not only is he an actor and a producer here in Hollywood, but he is an author, a motivational speaker, and a rare advocate. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to announce Sam Humphrey. What's up, man?
Everything's good in the hood.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
I'm terrible with everyone.
There we go.
I'm usually smoother than this, everyone.
There we are.
We're good to go.
Got it.
I'm usually smoother than this.
Hey, man, you know what? You are smooth. You don't even have to try, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Humphrey.
Hello. I'm glad to be here with Harrison.
Dude, thanks for coming out, man.
Yeah, of course. This is my first live in video podcast.
Your first live video?
Yeah, I've done virtual video, but live on a couch and in person.
Okay,
my
yeah.
First.
Here's my thing about that. I tell all my guests. I just like to make it very apparent that I'm like sweating over here. I'm
nerves.
You're making me nervous, Sam. No, I'm very much about the intimacy, being on that couch, and it's like, in this day and age, it's all about, everyone's all digital and behind a screen, and it's like over a phone, and let's make it organic.
COVID did that to us, and now we're living in a post-COVID world, and everyone's like germs and everything, look, I'm not germophobic, but I do keep my mask on most of the time because you never know where people have been and what they've touched these days.
He's not lying. He actually walked in with a mask today up to the green room. I'm not going to lie to you.
What can I say?
He's not a liar either. The guy has integrity. Yeah. He really wore a mask, and he really does.
For the most part, I have integrity.
Dude, I want to talk about the elephant in the room.
You mean the one that I wrote in on Greatest Showman?
Yeah, I'm sure all these people that are watching you now, they recognize you as Tom Thumb.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about your time on there. I'm sure everyone wants to know, how was it working with Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron?
Oh my gosh, they are two of the most talented, phenomenal people in the world. I mean, Hugh Jackman, he's total family man. And he was like the family man of, The Greatest Showman on set. Everyone adored him. He's the darling of Australia, so, everyone loves him in Australia. And then, of course, he comes over to the US, and then everyone loves him here. So, he really kept us all together on the film.
Wow.
It was just that the environment, when the lead actor does their job, not only just to be an amazing actor on film, but they also keep the whole crew, and they keep all the actors together.
They're essentially the glue.
Everyone just wanted to be there because Hugh was there.
Everyone wanted to be there because Hugh was there.
Yeah. I definitely wanted to be there because Hugh was there.
I've heard he's such a kind-hearted individual in person. Is this true?
Yeah. Sometimes you meet your heroes and they're total a-holes, but
not in this case.
No, he was the perfect human being. And that's what I say all the time. I'm like, he's the perfect human being.
I love hearing that.
This will sound weird, and I'm totally fine to admit that, because I'm cool with my sexuality, man.
Dude, yeah.
But, I'm sorry if you hear this is gonna be so weird. But I would,
Hey, this is the Parlor. There's no fucking rules on the Parlor, Sam. Let her rip.
I would turn gay for you.
Dude.
Who wouldn't?
Who the fuck? I would look. Okay, that's a great topic. Are there a few people, if you're a straight person, would you go gay for? And if you're a gay person, are there a few people you'd go straight for?
Oh, wow.
I think. Look,
why
why not? If the topic is there, why not talk about not just half the picture? Let's talk about the whole picture.
Absolutely.
So, I'll tell you a couple I'd go gay for: Hugh Jackman,
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Reynolds,
Oh, yeah.
maybe Chris Pine.
Oh, okay. What about Chris Pratt?
He's too overrated. I wouldn't go gay for
Oh,
him.
snap!
I wouldn't go gay for him.
Oh, snap!
I'd do a pop kiss and be like, I'm still straight.
Yeah, but he probably wouldn't go gay for you either, so that's all right.
I don't think so. Okay. Now, I guess we can't really speak from, I don't know, are you gay or no?
No.
Okay, well then I'm not either, so I can't speak from a perspective on that.
Although, I mean, I have to say, and I feel like whether or not you feel this way or not, I feel like every man is some percentage gay.
You know what? I think the better term would be to every, even the most masculine man has some femininity to him.
Yeah, I mean, like, because we're not talking, like, whether or not you're actually attracted to the
No,
opposite sex.
no.
But, like, you know, the whole trending thing these days is masculine and feminine.
Yeah.
And everyone has the masculine and feminine energy in them, whether or not you're, you know, a male or female. And so...
Agreed.
To be completely honest, there are a number of people, and probably a number of my fans, and I do want to say I'm not gay, but, so ladies, you know, come on.
Ladies, DM.
Currently single, so, you know.
Oh, shit. Sam is...
single.
Okay, Sam, this is your plug-in.
Yeah.
Ladies
So
and gentlemen.
hit me up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Humphrey is single. Hit him up in the DMs right now. Instagram, TikTok, whatever you want.
Not whenever you want. I mean, I need some personal space.
I said whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Listen,
What does that
ladies,
even mean?
give the guy some boundaries, okay? Okay, so what else were you saying?
So, like, I am a more sensitive guy. So,
Yeah.
a lot of people, and when I was, you know, coming off Greatest Showman, I got hit on a lot, and a fair percentage of it was by dudes.
Well, here's the thing. You and I are in an industry where it's a lot of people that are very free and very in tune with their sensitivity and emotions. A lot of people end up being maybe homosexual on that spectrum that are more in tune with that.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a lot of people that aren't, like you and I, but it's just, I feel like maybe being in tune with your emotions could be lead to something more sensitive, which could lead to, I don't know. I'm no scientist. I'm just a dummy with a podcast, but.
An attractive dummy with a podcast.
Well, thank you, sir. Nonetheless, a dummy with a podcast.
Yeah. See, it's a bromance. That's what
Indeed.
they call, you know, you can have a bromance without necessarily being attracted to each other.
Oh, I got bromances with bros all the time, bruh.
I mean, all the time. I mean, I got a bromance with my best friend, and, like, a lot of people would probably maybe think we're gay, but we're not. We're both 100% heterosexual.
Do you have pictures with him on social media? Do people comment and think you guys are gay?
No one's actually commented, but I do have some pictures of him on my social media. But I think it's just the relationship of having that bromance.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, because I'm a more sensitive guy.
Yeah.
And also, segue, because not necessarily because I'm a more sensitive guy, but because, I guess, my pitch is higher, I'm always referred to as ma'am. Literally.
What?
Yeah, okay, so customer service, anytime I call customer service, like whether it's healthcare, whether it's like, you know, Capital One, my bank, or anything like that.
Really?
Ma'am. I get ma'am all the time.
How does that make you feel, ma'am?
Very well. Usually I'm like, you know what? Whatever. It's a word.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Again, I'm okay with my sexuality.
Of course.
But recently, I started getting a little bit frustrated because I was just like, okay, I have told you I'm a sir. I've asked you to call me a sir.
Wait, so you're telling me people call you ma'am even after you correct them?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Okay,
Like,
all right,
it's like
Sam.
2-second memory.
That's fucked up.
I literally am like, like not saying like I don't say it like angrily or abusively. I just say it like confident and firmly, so that they know I'm like, it's sir.
Yeah,
And
assert
then,
yourself.
And then they'll say sir.
It's
they
your
will
right.
literally say sir, and then 2 seconds later they'll like be talking, and then they'll say ma'am. I'm like, do you not remember literally 1 second ago
That's
I
fucked
said
up.
call me sir? I'm like, if it's this difficult, put it in the notes.
That's fucked up.
I'm like, how hard is it to remember though? But like, I mean, I had to laugh at it. But like, I mean, just recently I was just like, I got to a point where I was like super frustrated. But I come back down from that where I'm just like, again, because literally I was on customer service again, and they were like, ma'am, literally 5 times. I was like, there's literally nothing I can do now.
That's like really insensitive.
It's actually quite disrespectful if you think about the time that we're in culturally. Like, if someone was not as chill as me, and like
Seriously.
for example, like if we're talking about you know being gay or being lesbian or
Yeah.
whatever, or transgender, if you were doing that to a transgender person, they would cut you. They would cut you
Yeah.
down the middle.
Yeah, they're pretty ruthless. Not
Yeah.
all of them.
Not all of them. No,
Not all of them.
I know some sweetheart.
Oh my
transgender
god,
people.
me too. Me too.
But yeah, I
Absolutely.
mean,
Specifically, I know one who I have to shout out. I love her. Her name is Billie Lee. She's actually, I cast her in my movie.
oh, very nice.
She's actually debuting. It's her acting debut. She was a reality star.
Oh wow.
Have you seen Vanderpump Rules?
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah.
So you know Billie Lee from Vanderpump Rules? That's
Yeah.
Billie Lee.
Okay. Well, there you go. Well, shout out to her.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I think because they've been through a lot, they stand for a lot, and they start to, when they feel attacked, maybe they just unleash everything that they've been attacked with.
That's
And
true.
they're not I can't blame them. Like
Yeah.
the world has bogged them down. It's almost they're going through their own situation right now.
Well,
and-
I think it's because the world is so obsessed with labeling everything.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
the world isn't comfortable with just things being the way that they are. Like the world needs to put a label on it. They need to cram it into a box so that they feel like they can get a handle on it. They can understand it. They can grasp it. They can control it. It's just the way the world is.
yeah, and that worries me because I think what are we gonna like? We've made quite a jump, quite a leap
Yeah.
in kind of everything in the last 150 years, if we think
have.
about it. So like, where are we gonna be in another 150 years? By
Well,
the year
I mean-
2175, where are we gonna be?
You know, unfortunately, as human beings, we tend to repeat history. So I'm a little scared that we may slide back a little bit.
So I have a really weird theory that it kind of just started rattling around in my old skull recently.
Okay.
I'm not. It's just an idea I was playing around with. I'm also a writer, so maybe I'm gonna incorporate it. I don't know. It was just an idea. I fuck around with a lot of weird ideas as a creator, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So I had this weird idea that we like these past civilizations from so long ago, they were so intelligent, and there's drawings of them in spaceships
Yeah.
and other kind of weird things that there's no remembrance of it or evidence of it other than drawings.
Right.
And then, there was this big comet that knocked out so I just feel like the Earth maybe the idea was that the Earth maybe has gone through stages,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
and not just stages of just the dinosaurs. I mean stages of humanity. Maybe the reset button has been hit a couple times because we've gotten too far, and maybe the reset button is not natural.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we're being watched and we're being micromanaged, and when things get out of hand, it's a clean slate, and then we're being watched again as we build up again. Like when you wipe out an ant colony,
Yeah.
you pay attention, you leave the ants there, you keep watching, eventually they're gonna rebuild.
Yeah.
Maybe not have any records of what it was before, but they know instinctually what they have to do.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't think you're wrong there. Like, I mean, there's a lot of theories out there, and we can never truly know, what theories are right and what theories are wrong. I mean, there are some insane theories out there, I will say that, where you're kind of like, look, I'm not gonna say you're wrong, but I'm gonna say that highly unlikely.
Maybe you've taken too many drugs.
I'm like, how many combinations of drugs have you done?
How many combinations? That's the better question.
Yeah, it's like not just one. You've
Yeah,
probably done LSD, cocaine, weed,
At the same time.
ayahuasca, all of that stuff. So, and I don't think all of those things are supposed to be combined.
I don't think so either.
But I mean,
Moderation is everything.
even drugs. I mean, you can take them. I'm not advocating. This is a terrible, terrible thing I'm saying. I'm not advocating for drugs, but I know that there are many people out there that do it recreationally, and if you are going to do it safely.
Are there any?
Safely.
He's right. Thank you, Sam Humphrey, for those.
PSA for drugs.
Thank you. Are there any recreational drugs you partake in?
I do. I do a little bit of weed.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
Again, PSA.
Hey, they call that California sober, baby.
They do. So I do a little bit, but that's just, to keep myself in check. My stress levels sometimes get a little bit up there. I'm trying to cut back and, try to wean off it.
Why?
It's not great for my health. Like, sometimes I think it's not entirely great for my health.
Now, let me ask you a question. Are you speaking as an individual, or are you speaking in a general consensus? It's not great for the health or Sam's health?
I mean, I think personally it's not great for my health. And, I will never judge or tell anyone how to live their life. So, yeah. Not judging anyone who does whatever makes them happy, as long as it doesn't affect anyone else's right to live their life and be happy. That is, most important, because me personally, as a human being, I never want to get in the way of anyone else's right to be a human being.
And the golden rule, treat unto others as you'd like to be treated. So motherfuckers out there, just like he's saying to you, he wouldn't judge you. Don't you fucking judge him.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
And don't judge me.
Especially not
and
for
I
my
won't judge you.
size, please. That's just a low blow.
Hey, size doesn't matter.
Size matters not, it does.
Size matters not, Sam Humphrey.
He just topped me.
I didn't top nothing, dude. You got it, bro.
I tried to do it in Yoda's voice, and then he just topped me with his own quirky voice.
That wasn't Oh, but come on. You were doing something iconic. I was just doing something...
Well, I can't even say it was Yoda, because that was a terrible...
Yeah, please don't say that was Yoda. That was an insult to Frank Oz.
Yeah, it was. I'm sorry, Frank Oz. Please forgive me.
He will.
And all of Star Wars franchise.
They will. You're Sam Humphrey. They will.
And please cast me.
Yeah, dude, I feel like you should totally be in something Star Wars. I have a friend named Nilda. She would love to meet you, but I feel like she would also agree you should be in Star Wars. She's a huge Star Wars fan. Like, she has this podcast, and she interviews all these Star Wars actors, and she has this podcast called I'm so sorry, Nilda. Collectibles. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, Nilda. You know what? I tried, but listen, Nilda, follow her. Anyway.
That's him trying to make up for forgetting whatever he was gonna try and say politely about you, but he completely bombed.
Oh, it's okay. She'll be appreciative that I called her out anyway. But
called her out or shout out?
Shout out, excuse me. Shout out.
Jeez.
Yeah, but I feel like called out. Yeah, you're right. Called
Called
out
out is like insult.
Yeah, called out definitely has like a negative.
It does. Like, I'm calling you out. It's like I'm calling you out on your shit.
Yeah. All right. Shout out, Nilda.
There you go.
Better?
I was calling him out on his shit.
He fucking called me out on a shout out.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm here for.
Trippy, dude. Anyway, let's talk about a few of the things. I actually have a list because I wanted to.
He has a list.
Yeah, because I wanted to have some lovely things to mention, and I'm sure there's things that all the fans listening, your fans included, they don't know about you. They have questions. I mean, I'm sure they've heard a bunch of your interviews, this and that, but hey, this is the Parlor, baby.
I mean, are they sick of the amount of interviews that I do? I don't know. But this one's unique. This one's special because this is with Harrison on the Parlor.
Oh, well.
And I mentioned some things in this interview that I usually won't mention. So, again, viewer discretion advised, especially to all my younger fans. Please, some of the stuff that I may have mentioned or said, viewer discretion, please.
And no judging.
And no judging.
This is if this podcast was on Netflix or HBO, if it was streaming, it would be TVMA. So, viewer discretion advised, motherfuckers.
Boom.
Anyway, let's get to that list.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, you just had a birthday recently.
I did. The big 3-0, and I am feeling old.
Happy birthday, and don't you ever say that again, because I'm in my 30s, and I feel great. Tony the Tiger, great.
Well, you look better than I do. So.
Dude, no, okay? Listen, we are gentlemen in our 30s. We look good. We feel good. I mean, look at the way you're dressed, dude. I don't think I've ever had a better dressed guest on my... Oh, say that 3 times fast. Better dressed guest, better dressed guest, better dressed guest on my podcast guest.
He nailed it.
Oh, shit. Yellow leather, yellow leather, yellow leather. Actors' codes. Anyway, dude, I mean, we look great. And you're 30, dude. Happy birthday, by the way. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
30's a good one. I got to tell you, I don't know if they've told you that it gets better, but...
Some people have. Other people have told me it's all downhill from here.
No, man, no.
I mean, mostly joking, but 30 is great, considering technically I'm not supposed to be alive, so...
Holy shit. This man is defying life. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you just mentioned you're not supposed to be alive. So, what is that pertaining to?
So, I mean, as many of you probably already know, I have a lot of health challenges, which I've gone through in my younger years and that I still face. However, when I was in my teen years, doctors... Well, when I was first born, it was a struggle. But then, growing up, I saw a lot of doctors and specialists about, my health and everything, because they wanted to track me, because I'm supposedly one of the wonders of the medical industry.
You're an anomaly?
Of my size and all that. But, I mean, there's a lot of little people, so I don't know why they say that. But I'm just, I wouldn't say just another little person. I'm
definitely not
a little person, and, going to Greatest Showman, I'm the little person.
The king of little
the high
persons.
short king, because all little people are short kings.
Oh, I love that.
I know the general rule is apparently under 5 feet, but I think that's cheating.
Is it? I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, the general rule is if you're under 5 feet, you're a short king, but I think that's kind of cheating. Because a lot of guys are taller, but 5 feet is still pretty tall. I'm 4 feet 2. I still look up to a 5 foot guy.
A 5'2" guy is like a fucking the Empire State Building to you.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Can you imagine what a 7 foot guy would be like?
I mean, I'm 6'3" and I was standing next to you, and we're gonna have a picture to show everybody together.
I had family friends, and they were literally on the New Zealand basketball team. 7 foot tall, family friends. I literally hurt my neck every time they had to come. They had to bend to come into a house. And literally, here's me.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, could you sit down? And they sit down. I'm like, could you get on the floor? Because I'm like, I don't even want to look up to you while you're sitting in a chair. But yeah, so I think under 5 feet, calling yourself a short king is... I mean, cool, you want to be in the club, but I still think that's cheating.
You ain't in the club. You're pushing it.
I'm 4'2".
No tall motherfuckers allowed.
Exactly. That should be a rule.
So let me ask you a question. If I cut off my legs, can I be in?
I mean, that's dedication, so I think we would allow it.
Dude, sign me up, dude.
Yeah. I mean, although, I don't know, cutting off just your legs.
Oh, shit, don't say it. Actually, I got a small torso.
I mean, just for the cutting off of body parts, we'll allow it.
Thank you. You know what? Thank you. They recognize dedication. Short kings, they recognize.
But yeah, so when I was born, I went through all my, medical challenges, and I already at that point thought that I wasn't going to make it, when I was born, because I was going to, so they wanted to pull me out early because I was already having health challenges before I was even born. But my parents were like, no, we're going to wait till his birthday, April 24th. So they waited. So they prayed about it, they waited, and then I came out on my birthday, my due date. And then, already from there, I went into like an ICU, like one of those baby bed incubator things.
Right.
And so I was there for 6 weeks.
6
And
weeks.
then,
Did you make any friends there?
It's kind of hard when you're potentially on death row,
Yeah, I could see.
I mean, I could try and wane myself over to the next incubator, but, babies aren't known for sharing.
They're kind of assholes, huh?
They are. So if you're a baby out there, don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
I mean, not that you can help it. Like, it's not up to you, really, I guess. But yeah, so then straight away doctors were like, look, he's, already struggling. He's already got health challenges. And then as I was growing up, doctors were like, we're not sure what his life expectancy is going to be like past 18.
Wow.
And so that's kind of something you shouldn't.
And you just
say to a
celebrated your 30th birthday,
Yeah.
Sam. You are a fucking champion. I want everyone to understand what Sam just said. His life expectancy wasn't past toddler, and then they said past 18. And he just celebrated his 30th. And the man
12
is
years, still here.
the man is a multifaceted, talented human being, and he is setting an example for so many people. Sam, you're doing wonderful stuff. So I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to let everyone else know
Yeah.
who they're watching and listening to right now.
Well, I appreciate it.
So you went on, and after 18, they're like, this guy's not going to make it. So what happened?
Yeah, well, basically in my teen years, they were saying, like, past 18, I mean, they weren't necessarily saying I was going to die, but, to say, like, we're not certain about his life expectancy is, like, basically like, well, once he's 18,
How do you tell
he
a kid
could
that?
die. Exactly.
How
So
do you
I'm
tell a
like,
kid
how
that?
do you tell
Unbelievable.
a teenager, like, something like that, and force them to face their mortality at such a young age, when they haven't even really discovered their identity yet?
Oh my God.
And unfortunately, because of that, and this is, always a very sensitive topic, so, people who are struggling, please seek help, because it's a very serious issue. But because of that, facing my mortality and believing that I might die, at 18 or shortly thereafter, led me to a dark period during my teen years, and I did unfortunately try to commit suicide several times, and it was a very challenging period in my life. But I am happy to say that, past 18, 12 years later, I'm still here, and I don't try, I mean, I still struggle with those things and all those challenges, but I'm never on the edge where I'm like, thinking about killing myself. So yeah, please, if anyone is struggling, please, reach out to the suicide hotline or reach out to family members or friends. Please tell someone about what you're going through, because unfortunately I did not, and, it could have gone very, very differently.
Wow, that's very heavy. Thank you for sharing that. That I'm sure that was like probably it's even a lot to share with even the world.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm
Sam.
all about, being open and expressing vulnerability, because the world today does not encourage vulnerability.
No, it
as
does
a
not.
strength, because the world teaches us that being vulnerable is a weakness, and it's not. It is not. So please don't believe the lies that being vulnerable and being open and being kind-hearted and all the the things that the world says is not the way we should be. Don't believe the lies, because it's lies. Like, you should be able to express yourself. You should be able to be vulnerable. You should be able to be open. It's all a strength. It's not a weakness.
100%. It is 1,000% a strength, and the strength you have it's insurmountable. And like I said, it is an honor having you on this podcast, and we're always going to keep it positive and happy. But dude, I just got to say, I'm sure I am, and your fans were all very grateful that you failed at taking your life, because
absolutely.
Thank you. Like, you've given, I'm sure you've inspired so many people, and what you're going to go on to do from today even on, you're building an empire of your own, my friend. And there's so many people that look to you for advice or even for inspiration. People go through hard times, and mental health is a serious thing.
It really is.
And this man is living proof that you can get through it. Did you have a support group? What was it that helped you get through this situation?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the biggest things was like, my faith and knowing that, I couldn't do that to my family or my friends. When I was in the process of attempting, it just hit me that I couldn't do that because had I done that, my family would have to wake up, my friends would have to wake up, and, obviously at that time, the world didn't really know who I was, so I didn't have my fan base, but I wouldn't be here to share my story, and I wouldn't be here to help the countless other people that are going through it. And I think important. That, that's my purpose, is that's why I'm here.
Yes.
And so if I had done that, my family and friends would have to wake up believing that, there was nothing that they could have done or believe that they should have known the struggles and the pressure that I was going through.
Yeah.
But, it's not, and obviously it's not selfish, but, to me personally, I was thinking it's a little selfish to do that.
Okay, so I was actually going to cut you off and say that. I was going to say, think about this. It's kind of fucking selfish if you kill yourself.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucking selfish to all your family, your friends, the ones that love you, because they don't get a say in it, and they can be there for you. So this may sound harsh, but you literally took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand the trauma or the things that are going through people's heads that lead them to that.
Must be aware of it and understand.
It's a lot, especially when you feel very different and that you feel like you don't fit in the world. And for me, the world wasn't designed for me. And it wasn't designed for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that, unfortunately, you get to that stage where you're like, it's not designed for me, I don't fit in.
What a profound way to put that in words. The world was not designed for me or people like me.
And then, unfortunately, you take what could be a selfish act and, rob the world and your family and your friends of your energy, of your light, of what you could become, of your potential.
And what you could do for others and so much.
Yeah.
So, wow. Yeah, that's extremely profound, Sam.
Yeah.
Wow.
But my faith, I'm very spiritual. I was brought up Christian, and I know that can be a very sensitive and taboo subject. But I always talk about my faith, and I'm never ashamed about sharing my faith.
Right.
Because it's gotten me through a lot of hard times, and without it, I wouldn't be here. So,
I think it's very important as human beings that we cling on to a faith of something, whether it's whatever drives us to believe, whether it's even people that are agnostic, they're still clinging on to a faith of no faith.
I mean, agnostic is just like, and it's the same for, I think, a lot of, I don't want to say religions, but like spirituality in general. It's just a state of mind, and it's a state of what you believe in.
It's a level of understanding within yourself.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is.
It's a spiritual awakening.
Indeed.
Whatever you believe in, whether or not you choose to believe in a spiritual higher power, or you believe in, positive thinking or mindset, to me, it's all the same. Like, a lot of people are like, mindset and manifestation and all that is, mumbo jumbo and
those people don't understand.
But yeah, it's like you don't understand. It's still an aspect of spirituality, because who's to say that manifestation and spirituality are not the same?
Exactly.
It's faith.
You know what else is kind of cool?
Faith.
If you've ever heard people talk about meditating, which is actually interesting to me, because a lot of people meditate and
I love to meditate.
But when I say meditate, when I say other people meditate, they'll sit down and they'll do the candles and they'll, you know what I mean? But when I meditate as well, but when I meditate, I meditated a few minutes before you came. You know what I mean? But it's I can meditate. Meditating doesn't have to mean you sit down and cross your legs and fucking close your eyes and make your fingers like an idiot like that. You know what I mean? It's just another common misconception of so many other things that fall victim to misconception in the world as far as perspectives of human beings. They get
Absolutely.
lost in translation because, again, like I was telling you in the green room before this, no one really knows what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Everyone's just doing it. There's
Yeah.
no like one way to do something.
And it's kind of funny because, like, the people that say, no, I figured it out and I know what I'm doing, it's like, oh,
Okay,
fuck
buddy,
off.
you got
It's
it.
like, fuck off. You don't actually know what you're doing. You just have been alive longer to fail more, to finally succeed.
Right?
It's like literally, and that's what people are scared of these days, to fail.
Yeah.
But you have to fail
Yes.
before you succeed.
You have
There's
to.
no way you can succeed if you don't fail.
Correct.
Like, how do you succeed without failing?
I don't know.
It's like, well, I wake up and I'm just like, I just succeed. It's
If
like,
you figure out a way, if anyone out there figures out a way to
I'll pay you $1 million.
succeed before you fail, please teach me your ways. Teach
Yeah.
Sam your ways. He'll pay you $1 million.
I don't have $1 million
Hey,
because
he'll pay on credit.
I failed a bunch of times and I'm waiting for me to succeed.
He'll get you a
but
meeting with Hugh Jackman if you figure it out. How about that?
I'll owe you one. How about that? I can't promise that.
Hey, I can because they ain't bringing us that fucking information. Trust me.
True.
So we can promise that shit. Promise them the world.
Okay, I'll give you the world.
There you go.
But,
No
you
one's
have
ever
give
going to
them
succeed
first.
without failing first.
Yeah,
That's the bottom line, folks. That's what we're getting at.
Literally in my books or my co-authored books, my power quote is failure is only just the beginning.
Boo.
Because you got to start from somewhere.
Indeed.
And, like, your first idea is not going to be a success. I mean, look, 1 in a million chance it might be. But your first idea, 99% of the time, is not going to be the one to succeed. Your second idea, your third idea, your millionth idea, probably not. I've had so many ideas which I've, like, tried to do. I'm like, well, that was a waste of time.
But it wasn't a waste of time
Yeah.
because it got you to your best
Your
idea.
next one.
Your
Yeah,
next
yeah.
your really good, juicy idea.
And I've got some good ones coming. So stay tuned.
You know, that quote you said is really interesting because I have something similar on my website.
Mm.
At the bottom of my website, it says, my company website, it says, you don't have to be smarter than anyone else or everyone else.
Mm.
You just have to prioritize differently.
Yeah, oh, I like that. Yeah, that's a very good one.
I love my
Hey,
quotes.
now we're cooking with quotes. People cooking.
Oh, yeah!
We're cooking.
You know what? I actually had I wanted to talk about your book, actually.
Okay.
Because we haven't really brought that up too much.
No, we haven't yet.
And it's on my list.
It's on his list.
So you co-authored a book.
I co-authored 2 books.
You co-authored two
But
books.
I'll say, slightly cheating, it's the same story.
Gotta love the honesty, right?
Look, it's just the first one, it didn't make the impact that I wanted. But again, full of integrity and honesty, the second one didn't make the impact I wanted either.
He reposted it.
I was just like, well, look, we're in the day and age of social media. Everyone's reposting it. I just did the old school format of reposting it.
I love it.
I just put it in a second book.
He reprinted it. He reprinted it.
So, but again, you know, it still didn't really work.
Well, they're listening now. They're gonna go buy that shit now. Both copies of the same exact one.
But I will say, if you do manage to get a copy of that and you read my...
What's it called? Let's talk about it.
So there's 2. There's one of them is called Ignite Possibilities. So if you get that one, it's got a bunch of other great stories in it from authors as well. So, you know, shout out to all of those authors. So if you want just a bunch of stories that are inspirational and empowering and, like, will, like, just make you feel good about yourself, get both books. So there's one called Ignite Possibilities, which was the first one I put my story in. And then the second one is called The Greatness in You. And it's co-authored, well, it's sponsored or was done by Les Brown, but it's co-authored with, you know, a bunch of other authors that are in it. But, yeah. So
What's the title again?
The Greatness in You.
The Greatness in You.
Because everyone has greatness in them. Whether or not you believe
This
it,
is true.
you do have greatness in you. And that is one of my missions, is to help people find the greatness in them. Because everyone has it, whether it might just be buried deep down inside you under a bunch of lies and misconceptions and negativity. But it's there. You just have to dig down deep and find it.
I truly do believe that. Everybody actually has the answers within them.
Absolutely.
They just have to...
The higher self.
Indeed. They just have to be able to... You know what? A lot of people are afraid. So I don't even know if a lot of people will acknowledge it, but everybody has that door in their mind. Most people, they'll acknowledge it and then they'll forget about it and they'll it's not even a thing anymore. Then the door disappears. Then there's other people that know the door is there. They look at it every once in a while, but they never really go near it or open it. But they're always curious about what's beyond that door. Yeah. And then there's other people that hang out by the door, but they want to know what's beyond it, but they don't really know. And then there's like a small slither of people that open that fucking door and they walk through it.
Yeah.
And that is the door that unlocks the rest of you. I don't... Some people might call it the crazy side of you, but it unlocks the rest of you.
The wild side of you.
It unlocks the spiritual side of you. You're basically opening a channel between you and the universe, an open channel for a truth to flow through.
It's like what Steve Jobs said. You know, the wild ones are the ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world. And it's usually the wild ones that do it. You know, I mean, look, you know, we have crazy inventions these days, which are perfectly normal now. But back when they were, you know, getting started, people called them crazy.
Like a touchscreen phone.
Yeah. The Wright brothers. Who knew flying would be an everyday thing today?
Seriously.
Back then, the Wright brothers were called crazy. But they, you know, they built a plane, they got off the ground for 12 seconds, and that was flight back then. And now we're flying 30,000 feet in the air.
650 miles an hour.
It's crazy.
New York to London, baby. Yeah. Which brings me back to what I said earlier at the beginning of the podcast. We've progressed pretty quickly in a short amount of time, which makes me a little on edge.
The reset button's coming.
I'm pretty happy that I won't be here when that happens.
God, I hope I'm not. Well,
we won't be here, dude. No fucking way.
If they push the reset button while I'm here, I'm like, oh, come on, I was just getting started.
For real, right?
Shit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, come on, fuck off.
Yeah, trust me, they're not going to push a reset button here while you're here, especially because you've punched death in the face so many times.
If they try,
they're
I'll
not
punch
doing
them in the face.
Yeah, well, they're afraid of you, trust me.
Yeah, they better. I mean, I'm technically, like, if we all believe the aliens exist, and, you know, there are forms of aliens, whether or not you believe it's little gray or green.
And you're an alien.
Then, well, technically, I am an alien, because I'm an alien in this country.
Oh, okay.
I'm on a visa, so according to immigration, I am an alien.
New Zealand native.
Yeah, there you go.
New Zealand native. He is an alien.
I'm a Kiwi, mate.
Oh, he's a Kiwi. He's definitely a native.
Kia ora, bro.
Oh shit, he gets it. What's the culture like over there? Is it so much different than over here?
I mean, in terms of like Western culture, it's pretty much the same.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's not like we do anything extremely different. Like if you were to go to like, you know, Africa or Indonesia or something like that, where the culture is extremely different to Western culture. But like in terms of like honestly, I always say this wrong. I apologize to my fellow Maori people. There we go. Because I always say Maori people.
Maori?
And I'm probably maybe even saying that incorrectly, so I really apologize.
Hey, at least you apologize.
Yeah, unlike the history of our country sometimes. Many countries, actually. A lot of countries have to apologize to the natives because we've done some brutal shit. And I mean brutal shit.
Uh-oh.
Not just New Zealand. I mean, like, a lot of countries. Like, a lot of countries have done brutal shit to the native people, right?
America's one of them.
Yeah. So, and like I said, history tends to repeat itself. So, hopefully by the time history does start repeating itself, that reset button comes.
Dude. That reset button.
But, yeah, so it's not extremely different, but in terms of, you know, that side of culture, you know, they have, you know, a lot of tattoos and, like, they do, you know, natural cooking. Okay, seriously, they do a thing that's called a hangi, which is phenomenal. Basically,
what?
a hangi It's called a hongi, and how they cook it is they dig a massive pit in the ground, and they put a bunch of hot stones, like they light a fire, they put a bunch of hot stones on there, and they cover it back up, the stones get really hot, and then they dig it up again, they put the food in it, and then they pile all the dirt back on it, and it just like earth cooks. And
Oh, that sounds yummy.
It's so good. It's like some of the best food you can ever eat.
I mean, I just used the word yummy, and I'm 34 years old. So, I mean...
Well, it's true. I heard something the other day on social media. Men grow old, but they don't grow up.
Very true.
We're always just kids. Like, I mean...
Very true.
You know, we get older, but we don't necessarily grow up. Our maturity level... I mean, okay, look, maybe my maturity level goes up, but a lot of other people doesn't.
Nah, deep down, bro, like, we may be entrepreneurs and doing our thing, but sometimes I let loose. I'm a little kid sometimes. I'll dance around and do
I'm technically always a little kid.
Technically, you're always a little kid.
Yeah, I mean, if we judge me by my size, we do, which a lot of people do, I am a kid. But I like to let my inner kid... And I mean my actual inner kid, not just what I look like, out. Yeah. And when I do, it can get very, very kiddie.
and when that inner, I mean, what is it? Does it take alcohol? Or does it take what happens?
Well, that's not kiddie. That's adulting.
Well, I don't know. Some people get like they were like reverse when they drink.
Oh, no. When I drink, I just become funny.
I mean, you're already pretty funny.
Well, now you can know what it's like when I drink.
Oh, you get even funny? Oh.
I get downright hilarious.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Now he's going to try and get me drunk.
Nah, actually, I don't really drink.
Really?
Yeah. You know what? I'll take like a sip of a beer and I'll get sluggish and I'll get a headache. And I don't know if I'm allergic. I drank when I was in my early 20s, but can't drink anymore. I can't fucking do it.
I just don't enjoy drinking. It's just, I don't get what the whole excitement is about drinking.
Yeah, I mean, the appeal is poisoning your body.
And then you also get to lose a lot of money?
Yeah, I guess that sounds fun to some people.
Well, I mean, sure, if you like not being able to make rent or pay expenses or...
It's a thrill ride.
Oh, absolute thrill ride.
You get to be drunk while you're doing it.
I should join the club because I would love to not be able to pay my bills or rent or, get alcohol poisoning or hungover. It sounds absolutely amazing.
I've heard it is.
Yeah, absolutely riot party, guys.
I'm drinking fucking Zevia. Look at this. I love this shit.
Well, that, yeah.
Look, Zevia, I've reached out to you. Actually, I haven't reached out to you yet, but I'm going to reach out to you. Zevia, let's do it. Come on.
Brand promotion, guys. Come on, brand promotion.
Come on. I got Sam Humphrey on Zevia. Evian.
Evian water, guys.
Evian water.
Evian water.
And Zevia.
It's some of the best water you can drink.
It really is. It's alkaline water.
Oh, there you go.
You know, alkaline is very healthy for you.
Very good. I want a brand sponsorship now.
You heard him, Evian. You know, they work with Red Bull.
That's kind of odd.
I used to work when I lived in Miami, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Years ago. What am I saying? I've only been here in LA for a little over a year. I lived in Oh, your mic. Wait, are you Yeah, hold on. I lived in Miami a year and a half ago. Okay. My whole life, actually, up until the time I moved to LA. I don't know why I said that. So, one of the many jobs I had when I lived in Miami, because I went through a shit ton of jobs.
So did I.
That's what we do because we're struggling actors. We're trying to do our thing. So one of the many jobs I had was I was an account manager at Red Bull. Mm-hmm. So I would handle the distribution for like 100 stores, mm-hmm. from like Publix to gas stations. And I would also distribute Evian water. They had a partnership. I remember I was so confused. I was like, Red Bull's so bad for you. Evian's so good for you.
Hence why I'm confused. I'm like, they do Red Bull and they do what?
I don't think it's the same company, but they have some kind of indefinite partnership. Maybe they could be under the same umbrella.
Maybe it's just cheaper for them to like distribute the same products.
Or maybe it's just fucking cheaper for them because they're cheap. I know Red Bull, when I was working for them, they're fucking cheap. Yeah.
That's calling them out. That's a call out.
Yeah, that's a call out. Red Bull, cheap.
Ooh.
You know, they kind of.
Red Bull gives you wings, and apparently that face.
Yeah, well, there was like apparently stories of like them actually giving you wings, metaphorically. Supposedly, a lot of people, young college kids, died from drinking too many Red Bulls, and so they actually got wings.
Oh well, okay, yeah, there we go. That's not how you want to get your wings.
No, but it's just really weird how their slogan is even still that, and it was that even during that happening.
That's a little disturbing.
Yeah, there were these kids. They were drinking like 24 cans a day.
How do you drink that much?
I don't know, but you die from that. Don't do that.
Your heart's gonna pop.
Exactly.
I remember I had it wasn't a Red Bull, but so we were doing like a shut-in laser tag thing, and I was like, well, obviously I need the energy to be running around and all that. I had literally like this much of a V. I was buzzing.
Of what?
Of a V. You know, V? You've
V?
never heard? Yes.
Compound V from the boys?
I wish. I want to be a superhero.
Dude, I would be a soup in a heartbeat.
What
kind of powers do you think? I know I'm like going off topic here. What kind of powers do you think you get if you shot up Compound V from the boys right now, Sam Humphrey? What powers would you get?
Would I get or would I want?
Would you get? What do you feel?
Oh.
It could be the same as what you want, obviously, because this is all.
I feel like I would get mind reading.
And okay, what do you want then?
What I want is probably to be able to fly.
That's one of mine also. I want to fucking fly.
Just because transportation sucks.
Dude, I want to fly. I think it's definitely a
Do you know how much money I spend on transportation?
Yeah, it's definitely a city folk wish.
Yeah,
someone who flies.
Also, I could travel. I mean, I wouldn't have to get on a plane. I could just be like, oh, so I want to go to Hawaii, which is on my bucket list. Oh, shit, I'll just fly to Hawaii.
Well, now here poses the question, how fast can you fly and how high can you fly? Because there's probably limits to that. Just think about it. If we're flying too high, we're going to lose oxygen or we're going to get cold.
Yeah, but you're a superhero.
Yeah, but we can only fly. Your bones aren't, like, you don't have radiates skin.
Oh, so, like, we're not, like,
No, it's not like that. It's just like you can just fly. Your skin you're still a weak fuck flying through the air.
Sucks.
You're like a vulnerable meat sack flying through the air.
Could you imagine just, like, a plane going by, you just see me in the air, like...
Yeah, and I thought immediately as you fly in the engine.
Oh, God.
Not you, but, like, someone. And just like,
oh, gee, he's so kind, isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's just my morbid way of thinking as a creator and filmmaker.
Okay, well then I don't even know if I want to fly anymore. Shit.
No, we would avoid the plane engines and the turbines and all that.
Yeah,
obviously.
but if I don't have strong bones and all that, like what am I doing?
So then your wish would be, well, not your wish. What am I, fucking Santa Claus?
Yes, please.
Yeah, no, so then if you shot up Compound V, your soup abilities would be, I guess, impenetrable skin.
Yeah.
And flight.
Well, because I mean, like, if you're gonna shoot up Compound V, it would be kind of stupid for you to be like, oh, I get the power of flight. I'm just still a stupid human being who can only fly.
Well, that's kind of how the boys' universe works, if you think about it. That's the boys'
universe is fucked up, man.
Dude, it really... You don't know the boys?
No, I have.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
but yeah, so then it's fucked up.
It's super fucked up. Like,
yeah.
Dude, you saw season 3, right?
I don't know if I fully got all the way there, but I saw some... I saw some disturbing shit, and it was enough for me to go like... Oh,
yeah, man.
By the way, if, anyone's... I think The Boys is over, but there is a new show, Gen V.
Season 4 is coming for The Boys soon.
Oh, okay. Well, then, if The Boys are still going...
Gen V is excellent.
Put me in it, please. I mean, how good would I be? But, even better, Gen V. Literally Gen V. I could be anything you want me to be in Gen V.
You know what I see you in, actually? I see you in season 2 of Fallout.
Ooh. I've actually been thinking about starting to watch that. It's like on my Amazon Prime, and it keeps pestering me.
Sam, watch it.
Oh, alright. You heard it here. I was gonna say first, but I don't know if it's first.
It's definitely not first.
Okay.
Well, you heard it here. You
at
heard it here
least.
on the Parlor first.
Oh, there you go. First on the Parlor. But you've at least heard it here. And probably other places.
Sam, watch it.
I will watch it.
It's good. I mean, this is coming from someone who is such a stickler for adaptations with games and books and all that.
Okay.
I'm a huge gamer too.
Okay.
And I grew up playing the Fallout games.
Right.
They nailed it.
I played it a little bit.
They nailed it. Which one did you
Fallout.
play?
I honestly do not know.
The biggest ones are Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, and Fallout 76.
Fallout 3.
Fallout 3 for PS3.
Yeah.
Came
So
out in
I played
2006.
that a little bit.
Yeah, you know who's in that? Liam Neeson's in it.
Really?
Yeah, he plays your father in the game. It's amazing.
Damn, dude, he is one hell of a sick actor.
I can't believe Todd Howard and the whole product. Like, I can't believe they got Liam Neeson for the game.
That's insane. Yeah, but I mean, if you think of anyone like on that caliber and the personality and his style of acting,
There's no one else.
yeah, I mean,
Liam Neeson's the only answer.
honestly, okay, the funniest thing ever, like Narnia, right? Talking about like when you had one of those when did you realize moments. Like, I was a huge fan of Narnia. I watched it like growing up all the time, and I literally, me and my sister once like shut ourselves in like this little attic top room that our dad built in our house, and we watched Narnia 10 times in one day.
Wow.
It like we loved it, and I love that film. And by the way, again, good. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I think I just fucked up your name. This is not gonna get me into the show anymore.
They'll forgive you.
Help me out here.
I don't know her
The
name.
one who did Barbie.
She did Barbie?
Yeah, the director.
Oh, well, let me look her up real
Oh,
quick.
fuck, I'm definitely
I could-
not getting into the series now.
We'll edit this shit. Oh, don't worry. I'll make you look good, Sam. Don't worry. The Barbie movie.
God, I'm trying to like promote my career, and I'm fucking it up.
No, you're not. Ready? Greta Gerwig.
Okay,
And
so
action.
Greta Gerwig.
Gerwig. Nope. One more take. Greta Gerwig. Action.
Greta Gerwig.
Nailed it.
So she's doing supposedly doing the Narnia series on Netflix.
Mm.
I want to be in that. So please, when that gets rolling, think of me.
You heard it here
I
first.
could be anything you want me to be.
Whoever's doing the
I'll
casting.
do some dirty stuff.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. It's family. It's PG.
Whoever's doing the casting for the next Narnia movie, and if Greta Gerwig is directing it, please consider my friend Sam Humphrey here,
I'll be
the
a dwarf,
talented
I'll be a
actor.
pixie, I'll be whatever you want me to be. I mean, preferably I'd like to be human, but you know, if you want me to be a dwarf or anything else, I got you.
And if Peter Jackson ever does another Lord of the Rings,
Yes.
please consider my friend Sam Humphrey as maybe the son of Frodo or something wonderful. Let the story go on. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes. But so, speaking of when did you realize moments, after watching Narnia that many times and like literally, you know, growing up on Narnia and watching all of the like rest of the franchise, I had one of those moments where I was like, I did not know and only just realized probably in the last couple years that Liam Neeson voiced Aslan.
The lion.
Yeah. Yeah, and the whole time I did not know that. I was like, Aslan has a fucking great voice and he's beautiful. And I was like, who does him? And I looked it up, I was like, Liam Neeson does him. I'm like, well, shit. Of course he does, Aslan. I'm like, who else would?
I mean, it's either going to be James Earl Jones or Liam Neeson, the greatest voice actors.
Do you know how devastating it's going to be when we lose?
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. These guys, dude, these guys they're so important to like the way we were raised and why our inspiration for being in the industry.
Yeah.
Like to me personally, Jim Carrey was my guy where I was like, okay, I'm going to be an actor.
Okay.
I was 7 years old or 8, whatever it was. I knew at that point. I was watching The Mask, Liar, Liar.
Oh, so good.
I knew it, you know, and that was my big moment.
Mm.
So I was going to ask you, who's your big, or is there a movie or one big actor that just, when you were younger, you're like, I want to be just like that person. And that's where you really decided you're going to be an actor.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, it's no surprise to everyone that Hugh Jackman is the one who got me into acting. So he's the actor, and the film was the X-Men franchise. So I saw that for the first time in cinemas, and then, I saw it in cinemas, and then I saw it, you know, when I was 8 years old again on TV, and I was like, at that time I didn't really know, you know, what acting really was.
This is the original X-Men?
Yeah, so the first one. I didn't really know, I mean, obviously, I knew what acting was, but I didn't know, like, fictional characters, really. And
You
like,
were 6 when it came out then. You're 4 years younger than me, and it came out in 2000.
Okay, so maybe it wasn't first when it came out, but I remember I was 8 years old when it hit me. When I guess maybe I was watching it again, so maybe I was just like that much in love with it.
He rented it at Blockbuster.
I mean, I really don't know. But I was 8 years old watching X-Men, and you know, I just loved it. It was something about, maybe it resonated with me, like being at that age, being like vulnerable and feeling like the world was just like punching on me so much, and I felt like weak and vulnerable. And then like seeing Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, you know, having adamantium skeleton and being indestructible, and just like fully cutting down anything in his way. Like nothing could get him.
That was
like
huge
you
for
could
you.
shoot him in the head and he'd go down and
right
get
back
back up and
oh
he'd
yeah.
heal.
Oh yeah.
And so maybe like internally that was like me being like, I want to be indestructible to the world, and like no matter how badly the world hits me, like I'll get back up and I'll heal.
Have you shared this with Hugh personally?
So not what I just said now,
You
because
would melt
I feel
his
like
heart.
I feel like that's something that maybe I'm having a slight realization about now.
He would love
but
to hear that, Sam.
I have told him that he is the reason I became an actor.
I'm sure he loved hearing that.
Yeah, so
That's enough to melt someone's heart, man.
I've told him that like I wouldn't be where I would be today without him. And then, you know, going back to The Greatest Showman, This Is Me is the song that won, you know, the Golden Globe and got nominated for an Oscar. But personally, A Million Dreams is what, like, you know, makes me alive in that film, because I've only, and this sounds sappy, but I've only ever had a million dreams from growing up. Like, I mean, you know, we all have. And
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
kind of surprised that song didn't get more, like, attention, or didn't, I mean, I can't say it didn't, but, like, in my mind, I feel like it didn't necessarily resonate as much with people. And I understand This Is Me is all about, you know, identity and who we are as a person, and, you know,
It's fitting
embracing
for the
that.
time, I think.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But, like, A Million Dreams, like, I feel like
Is timeless.
it's timeless for, and it's timeless for me. Like, I still, when I listen to that song, I'm just like, it's true. Like, I do lie awake in my bed, like, thinking of all the things that I hope to achieve in my life and that I'm working on. And so, like, what Hugh did for me in the film as a character, Charles Stratton becoming Tom Thumb, is what he did for me in real life.
That's beautiful. Wow.
And so that song, it makes me tear up sometimes when I listen to it.
Absolutely.
Because
It's real.
I only have a million dreams for what I want to achieve in my life.
Wow, Sam.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
You've I gotta say, I really appreciate you coming on here and being vulnerable and sharing with me and all of our viewers, the rest of the world, you know, not only your perspective, but your beliefs and your thoughts and some really personal stuff.
Yeah, well, I
Sam.
believe that, you know,
Thank
when
you.
you become, you know, get to, you know, a certain level
Agreed.
in the world,
You have
that
to
you
share.
have a responsibility
Yes,
to
you
share.
yes, you have to
that
share
with
your
the
life
world.
experience, your knowledge. You have to spread your light and your love. You have to do your part and help.
Yeah.
And since it is 100%.
I know, like, it can be quote unquote taboo, and I don't really care. and it's a sensitive subject. But I always say, like, I think that what we're searching for as human beings is, and why there's so much darkness in the world, is that we're trying to find the light. We're trying to find the love. We're trying to find our way back to God. Like in the beginning, like, and again, whether you believe this or not, this is what I believe, and is, my philosophy, is that, in the beginning, the world was a utopia. And, we all got along, and, it was beautiful. And then somewhere along the line, the world got screwed up.
Somewhere along the lines, someone got greedy.
Yeah.
And then it all got twisted up.
Mm.
Someone lied, then someone got greedy, then someone got selfish, then someone got aggressive, and then someone got physical, and then there was conflict.
Yeah, and so now I believe that the missing thing inside us, whether or not you want to believe it or accept it, is that we're just trying to find our way back to, where we were before everything got messed up. And so people may not agree with me personally. No offense, I don't care. I'm sharing what I believe, and if you agree with me, great. If you don't agree, that's perfectly fine.
No need to say no offense. It's because it's everyone is entitled to their own thoughts and their own beliefs, especially when someone's doing good for others. I mean, don't say no offense.
Right.
You're doing good stuff out here.
For, as Harrison mentioned, all the stuff that I am doing, I do have my brand that I am building.
Your brand.
Yes,
let's
brand.
talk about that. I'm sorry.
So,
wait, two things. I want to talk about your short film, your work you did
Yes.
too. So we'll talk about that. But let's talk about your brand you're building.
Yep.
Unbutton that shirt. Okay. Show us what that is.
So I'm building a brand. It's called The Little Guy, and it's a human advocacy brand. Because I believe that, we need more people to stand up for our fellow human beings. Because my philosophy is that at the end of the day, we are all human beings. And that should be the thing that combines us together and, builds that mutual bond and respect for each other. And there's not enough of that in the world today, as we see conflict and violence and hatred and all that stuff. And so that's the brand that I'm building. I'm in the works of that. And I'll be launching a crowdfunding for that soon. And then the website and the mock-ups for the shirts.
Amazing.
It's my empire.
Name the brand one more time.
The Little Guy.
The Little Guy.
And
look out for it.
Is standing out for the little guys.
Standing out for the little guys.
Standing
up for the little guys, excuse me.
Yeah.
I love that, Sam. That's fucking awesome. I love that shit.
Mm.
So look out for that, The Little Guy. Oh, do you know when the GoFundMe campaign is going to be up and all that?
So I'm aiming to do it by the end of May. So I should be launching it by the 1st of June.
Wonderful.
It'll be on Kickstarter, and I hope that you guys can all support that, as I really, really believe in this brand, and I believe in the impact that it can do for the world, and that a lot of people need just something that, stands up for being a human being, which we all are.
Indeed. Yeah. You just wrapped up a short film, too.
I did.
So let's talk a little bit about that. It's like, I did a little bit of looking into it. It's like an alien ditto or something,
That is
right?
another way I'm an alien.
Let's talk about that. So you're starring in a short film that it's in post-production now, I guess?
Yeah, so we just wrapped, so it's a short film. We did 4 days in the California desert, which was brutal.
Oof.
So I play a character named Ditto. He's very lovable. He gets punched, which I don't think is right.
What?
Because basically, if you want to know more about the project after I speak about it, you can go see it on my Instagram. But so basically, it's a creature alien named Ditto. He becomes infatuated with an astronaut who came to the planet, for whatever reason. He left his phone on the planet. And I find the phone, and, as the message behind the film is that, we can all get caught up and obsessive and infatuated over things, people, situations. And so I basically get overly infatuated by who I believe this astronaut to be by going through his phone.
What a clever idea, an alien getting catfished of his own devices. I love that.
Right? And so I basically fall in love with who this astronaut is by like hearing like his music and hearing his voice and seeing his pictures and all this stuff. And I basically take the phone around with me the entire time like it's my connection to this astronaut, only to find out that, the astronaut may not entirely be who he is in his phone. And I think it's a powerful message for, this day and age.
Yes.
Especially with, the fact that we have so many different ways of, attaching ourselves to people, to things, to situations, to, unrequited expectations of
how something should be.
100%. And the reason I did this is because it really resonated with me, because I have gone through many situations where I've had unrequited love, unrequited expectations, unrequited, expectations of results, and they've never panned out. And so I think it's a beautiful message for people to try and get themselves out of these situations and, learn that not everything is what we want it to be. And hopefully, we discover ourselves and we fall in love with ourselves more than falling in love with, external things.
The concept of something.
Yeah, self-love is more important than the concept or the infatuation
Absolutely.
Of something external.
I love that story. That's something with depth. That sounds like something of quality, and I stand for that. As a filmmaker, I stand for that. We will be submitting it
to all the major film festivals.
I love that.
And so, fingers crossed, once it's available to be released to the public, that you guys all get behind it and just give it as much love as you possibly can. We'll be, hopefully, after the film festivals, it'll hopefully be out maybe end of the year or start of next year.
Fuck yeah. I love that. Sam, congrats.
Thank you.
Well, Sam, we've had you on the podcast. You were an excellent guest.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming on.
Love to be here.
If it lines up in the stars in the future, we'd love to have you back on.
I would love to be back on.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful to hear. But in the meantime, get the fuck out and don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Well, it probably will, but I will get the fuck out anyway.